Well, today, today's just a new day. It's a Monday. I get to be at work. I have a new phone, so hopefully it's not the potato cam that we had anymore. I'm trying with the mic. This is the first recording with it. So everyone, let me know, what do you think of this? Do you think it's a little bit better? It looks better to me. It sucks having to get a new phone, but that was probably the most entertaining thing I've ever done in quite a while. I was having troubles searching online because I've the last phone I ordered it off Amazon. I didn't have any problems with it. I was able to find one. I actually had help from a bunch of viewers trying to locate a decent phone. This time around, I was like, okay, Amazon is just giving me the international versions to these phones, and they're absolutely useless. When you're shopping on Amazon, this is something Amazon needs to deal with very, very quickly because it's becoming an issue if you are shopping for a new phone. You look for it online. You're looking for your mid-range model. Like, I don't go out there and spend $1,000 on a brand new phone. I'm not one of those people that do that. I'd rather sit there and find something that's going to do the job, do what I want, have the camera that I want, and be able to hook up to it and do a lot of other things with it. I try to research what I can of a cell phone, but on Amazon this time around, it took me. I just got to the point where I gave up and I actually went to Best Buy. It was that bad. So I go to Best Buy, and you walk into Best Buy. I absolutely hate going to Best Buy because I know more than the service reps do in the store, and every time I walk in there, it's a chore because I walk in there and I have to sit there and I have to explain the features that I'm looking for. And then they sit there and go, and they open their app to Best Buy and sit there and try and figure out what I'm talking about. You know, they don't have knowledgeable staff anymore. This isn't the good old days of retail where product knowledge was the number one thing. By the way, I used to run a retail store. Uh, it was all about product knowledge. Those that knew the product knowledge, they're the ones that did the success. If you sit there and actually learn the products that you're selling, then it does very well. And, I get it. I get it. There's not an easy solution to a lot of things. Buying products out there, learning the products that are out there on your shelves because they're ever changing and ever moving. I remember back in those days when something new came in, I would sit there and research a little bit of it in a little bit of the downtime that you'd have in retail, and I would learn things. So this is why I ended up running a store. It's not because I didn't know what I was doing. It's because I understood the products that we were selling very well. Like when it comes to jackets or snowboards or anything sports related, I can tell you these things. But this is consumer electronics. Consumer electronics probably one of the worst things in the fair market right now because the disposable factor of what they have. By the way, I have my old phone. I'm looking to use it as a different source. If I can sit there and set that up as a permanent thing for something else, I might be able to do something like that. But it's got to be hooked up because the phone's charge is starting to go, and I couldn't even. I have to tape things to the port to it. Unlike this new one, where now I can just plug in things and not have to worry about it not charging. That was my issue with the phone. I also use my phone as my alarm now. So if my phone's not charging and it's not going off for the time I need to get up for work, it makes it very difficult. So I was at a point where I was like, okay, I cannot wait any longer. I have to do this. I have to turn around and get a new phone, which sucks. Absolutely sucks because the cost is there. And like I said, I didn't go for the extravagant phone. I ended up getting it's the Galaxy A35. So if anyone knows more details about that, anything that I should know about this phone, let me know. And right now the quality to me, I'm looking at it, seems okay. Although I am on the front face camera, the back face camera is always better. So you walk in there and people. This is the first time going into Best Buy where I think it was three associates asked me if I needed something while I was first getting in there, and I turned to the third one. I'm like, okay, I'm looking for a new phone. The guy that was behind the counter was busy. They got another guy over from TVs. He came over, but of course he has to sit there and he brings up his own phone and he's like, "Oh, the features you want. Let's see. This one, this one." I'm like, I could have done this online. I came into the store because then I have the phone in hand. I don't have to wait for Amazon ordering and I don't have to search a feature that is just not working with Amazon at the point. The international versions that they're selling on Amazon right now in Canada, they're useless. You can't use any of them. You don't have the NFC chip, the functional debit card chip for it. You don't have the Google Play Protect on these international versions. They just become a knockoff of the phone, even though you can still use the phone 100%. It is the phone that you order, but it's just missing key features to it. And that makes it a very, very disparaging and very hard thing to use as a phone, especially when you need certain features like that. When I'm paying for gas and I can sit there and I can tap my phone and be able to pay for gas that way and move on with my life, it's great. It also secures my debit card in that sense because now it's done to my fingerprint instead of it being in my pocket, which I have on my normal cards turned off, so no one walks up next to me and scans my pocket and steals money out of my pocket. That's the worst thing about the new technology of tap. Anyway, so these things are missing on the Amazon phones. So it just got to the point where it was too redundant. But the most interesting part, I'm looking at things. I want to look at the video games. This is the problem with me going to Best Buy. I'm going to spend at least a half an hour to an hour in Best Buy just looking at new equipment, looking at TVs, looking at the VR sets that they have there. And I happen to walk past the computers. Well, they've got this whole thing set up like it's a LAN party now with these fancy looking cases with the RGB colors. I'm like, this is a pretty good setup. This is what every gamer wants. They should have been doing this 10, 15 years ago, but no, now it's at the retail level that they've done this whole space for it. And I walk by an MSI case that's got a nice flat side to it. It's got an angled side to it. I'm like, I do need a new case for my computer tower because if you guys have been with the channel, my computer tower, I actually had to cut out some rail. I had to cut out some things out of my computer tower to be able to fit the video card in there. These new monstrous video cards that are now on the market. So I'm kind of looking, I'm kind of shopping for a new tower at the same time, just looking at this point. But I walk past this MSI case. It's got this nice flat side to it that I could sit there and customize and put on a new logo, put on new stenciling. I'm like, okay, this is the type of case that I want. But the problem is they have it there as a package deal. And it's like $2,300 for a 4060 in the thing. I'm like, well, it's a 4060. That's not half bad for the price that you're paying for that. I didn't get a new computer. Anyway, I sat there. I'm like, well, what is the specs? They have this QR code that doesn't work for me. So I end up flagging down an associate. I'm like, what is this case? I want to know what this case is so I can start looking at a future version of this case. Anyway, and they're like, oh, why do you want the case? So I pull up pictures, original pictures that I have of my computer tower from the Fragapalooza, the LAN party that we went to, and I all of a sudden had about 4 texts on me going, "What in the world? Where did you get this?" Like they're sitting there just dumbfounded at the amount of customization I've been able to do to a computer case, and they're like, "That is an absolute sweet case," because I've got my stenciling on the side of it, I've got the Phoenix on the side of it. So yeah, I completely blew their mind at Best Buy. And I looked completely out of place. I'm wearing a t-shirt that says a gamer on it. I'm wearing shorts that were from the one convention, and I'm in an army rain jacket, and everything clashes. But I'm sitting there presenting, and I have this absolute menacing drip on me that they all sat there and they kind of just were taken back that someone had walked in there knowing more than they did and knowing more than anything else in the store. And it was just, it was a dumbfounded moment for me. And I just sat there and I went, why am I even here? I don't even need to be here. I could have done this all online, but I just wanted a damn phone. Anyway, long story short, I walking through that store, I just had a different presence about it, and it was absolutely a hilarious time. And I figured I'd talk about how to buy a new phone in life. Anyway, I'm your Proc Canadian Phoenix Cindershadow. I'm signing off here. I'm gonna go and try and edit this now on the new phone. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you again very soon.